Hey y'all, welcome to the Rooted Podcast. I'm your host, Roland.
And I'm Angel.
And we are excited to bring this episode to you. Today, we're talking about how to stay rooted in Christ living in this world. And that's really what the podcast is all about. It's all about Christian living. It's here, it is from my lens. Hopefully you're getting one or two things to really encourage you as you're walking throughout your walk. But that's the point. We're all in life and we're walking through this thing, and life is hitting us, whether it be TV shows or just scripture or just life challenges anyway. Being able to navigate those things in a way that was not how you did it before is really what our conversation is all about. Like this, we've just been walking this thing out for a little bit.
Yep, absolutely. The Bible tells us that we are in this world, but we're not of it, and to a degree, we have to learn to be separated while still being present in our everyday lives. And so that's what we're going to get into today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
yeah. Let's just take this one example, right? You walking this thing out, and then you got, and the whole world is like, everybody's like, hey, we got Super Bowl. Woo! I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know the Super Bowl was happening.
Yep.
I didn't even know what day it was. Like we have a Bible study we do every Sunday. We've been doing every Sunday for the last couple of weeks, couple of months, and we just looking forward to that. To that small group session that we have, and it was great. Like I literally had didn't know who was playing.
No.
Didn't know what day Super Bowl was on.
Yeah.
Didn't know about. I remember the halftime conversation coming up early in the year when everybody's talking about, we don't want to see all of the foolishness that goes on in the halftime show. So then Turning Point was like, hey, we're gonna do our own show. Mm-hmm. It was like, we was like, that sounds pretty good, because people get tired of getting polluted by that stuff, mm-hmm. right? A
lot of times, people that I know at least that watch Super Bowl, like they have kids who are interested in watching the Super Bowl too, and so it's a whole family mm-hmm. event, because you're having parties and people over and wings and all of that stuff, and so it becomes this huge family thing, but it's not a family oriented show, nor is it family oriented commercials, and so that makes it difficult for some. Some people allow certain things in their households.
And as for us, as we have gotten more convicted over the years about different things, whether it be holidays or whatever, then this was one of those things. Now, granted, I was never really ever a football dude, so that wasn't ever a thing. Like I can count on I haven't ever planned to watch a football show, a football anything.
Me either, and that kind of makes it easy for me that my husband's not a huge football buff, so.
But we have been invited
and we like to go to the parties.
A football, a Super Bowl party. Yeah. Like I've been to those, right?
Mostly for the snacks and the
fellowship. That's it. It was there for the fellowship. Like I don't care who win, don't care who playing. I don't care. Mm-hmm. It's like I used to, my old company. This usually by the time we would have our national convention, and everybody was like, it's on Super Bowl, blah blah blah. I'm like, I'm here for the food, man.
Right. We can care less about the actual game.
And you can see like all of them just looking at the big screen. I'm like, hey, let me get some of that.
Get some of that dip.
Get some of that dip over there. I did not care. Like, did not care.
That's right.
It was just all about the fellowship, and obviously I was there for work anyway. So let's get some food. Mm-hmm. But here's the real deal though. So like, the one thing that's definitely been consistent throughout all the years of the, well, not all the years, but as it just progressively gotten, right? Like I remember when I was a kid, and I learned about the context a little bit later, but Janet Jackson had like some raunchy,
like a raunchy scene with her, and I think it was Justin Timberlake.
Oh yeah, remember? And that was like, it was appalling. Yeah, right? Like that's back when
and nowadays that's lightweight.
Yeah, that's lightweight stuff. Like it's obviously lightweight compared to this recent show that we just had, and this was quote unquote lightweight compared to what they've been in the past. I'm like, this is nuts, y'all. Like, how far have they polluted our mindset, like, and brought tolerance into this thing, and I mean, beat tolerance into us, right? Like, we have to.
Whether you want it or not. And then the social aspect of it is like, now there's arguments about what we should care about. And that goes back to the thought police thing, you know, like, you just really can't police people's thoughts. People are going to think and do what they want. And I don't ever think it's right to, like, you know, I'll cast it from society because you have a thought or whatever. But you got friends separating over little things like this.
And so just to catch you up, if you're watching this later on or maybe didn't know what was going on, right? So you had the 2026 Super Bowl. It had the halftime show is always the thing. It's the commercials, a halftime show, right? It's always been the conversation. So the halftime show was performed by a guy named performer's name of Bad Bunny. I'm gonna stop there, and then the conservative pro-America folks, Turning Point said, well, these halftime shows have always been non-family friendly. They've been anti-America, right, with these woke agendas, and so they said, well, we're gonna put on our own halftime show, and I'm like, yeah, why not?
Why not?
You know, because at the end of because we have the right. If we have the right to have a pro-America, anti-woke event that we align with, right? So if we're a consumer-based society with freedom of speech, and we're obviously, most people who are watching this do not want to look at this. So why are you forcing this down us? Like, if the consumers are saying they don't want to watch this, and you're still trying to force the consumers to watch this, well, now we're doing something different. And so we as the consumers have a right to do something else. And that's what they did. And people are like, it's because of more division. No, it's not. Like, you're still trying to force an agenda down me, and we don't want this agenda. And so Turning Point made their own. Now, I didn't watch Turning Point show either.
Yeah, I didn't either. I mean,
I didn't care.
Our life is just...
It's not that serious.
It's in a different direction. It's
like, for real, like...
we don't care. But if we went to a Super Bowl party, it would have been amongst other fellow believers who believe the same as us, so we would have probably tuned into the Turning Point show instead of the world event, you know, so that's just what we choose to do.
Yeah, like I was excited that Turning Point did one because I knew it was going to be conservative, it was going to be Christian, and it was going to have no vulgar.
Safe to play in the living room where your children are running around.
Like so I would have been more amped to turn that thing off and go to that and watch that. But we wasn't watching the show anyway, so we didn't care.
But I didn't actually before this whole thing went down, I actually didn't know who Bad Bunny was. I never heard the name before. I assumed it was a woman, to be honest. And another Christian influencer posted saying, basically trying to appeal to Christians, like, hey, don't watch this. This person is not for us. Like, this isn't for us to consume. Basically, she went into more details, but that's my synopsis of what she was basically saying. But when she showed certain images, which sometimes, I mean, most of the time I can do without the images, honestly, you know. But I guess to reel in her point, it did resonate in me. Like, yeah, this is nothing we need to be seeing. This guy wearing makeup, this guy making out with other guys, this guy wearing dresses, and that's not something I want to see. That's not something I want in my house being played personally.
And it's two sides to it. So you have that part where it's like, okay, I don't agree with those morals. Those morals are bad, in our opinion. It does not align with our Christian conservative values. Then the next one, where it gets even more serious, is the demonic stuff. That all the demonic shows that he didn't displayed and played in, and all the different little things. Like, it's one, dude, I ain't gonna lie, it's one thing to be gay,
homosexual.
That's one thing.
But it's like
the next level
to
add all of the demonic stuff on top of it. Like, it goes beyond. It goes beyond. It's the next tier of insult. It's the next tier of, and I think I don't want nothing to do with this.
I think it hurts the homosexual people too.
It does.
I mean, yes, homosexuality is a sin. We can all acknowledge that. But like, this being a part of that movement as well, it seems like that seems to be the case. Like it's always followed by some other kind of extra
super
stuff,
exaggerated.
you know, it hurts that community because it's just like, no, we don't want nothing to do with that at all, you know. And so it's like, while there is definitely a side of Christianity that wants to appeal to people who are in sin of any kind. I mean, sexual sin is sexual sin of any kind. It makes you like even that much more disgusted, and you kind of start to group people. I mean, which is what humans do, right? So, you know, people group people in races and classes and like all of this different stuff. So that's what tends to start to happen. And then, you know, then they want to group your thought into, I don't want to deal with the satanic stuff, to where you just say homophobe, you know. And it's like, that's not true, but this is what y'all present as
I don't
a group.
want this extra stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's, you know, it's one thing to be in your sin, and it's another thing to be to be in your sin, but then you're trying to pull me along with this, right? With supernatural demonic stuff, like. And I think the part that really that really bothers me with this whole thing, honestly, is the believers who co-sign this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, do you not have any kind of spiritual discernment?
Well, they don't because
like, whatsoever.
Well, they don't, and the thing is because that. Even our values as Christian are trying to be watered down to a degree of we're literally nothing. You know, it's literally nothing. Like, you're beyond lukewarm. Like, I don't even know. Like, you're right in the middle, you know? Like, you're almost cold, you know? And it's because there's the standard of Christianity has been altered. The standard should be, and always should have been, the Bible. We're disciples of Christ, and so our standard should be Christ. Although none of us can be perfect as he is perfect. He who knew no sin became sin for us. That's the point, right? So that should be our standard, but instead we've been so mixed and mingled into the world. Even our Christian leadership, you keep catching them in like horrible sins, you know? Sins against other people, sins against children, like horrible things. And then you see even some that are influencers now that are in leadership that promote this stuff as well. And so there's no hard line. The only way to have a hard line is to stand on the word and the word alone. If that's your only compass on how we should live life, then that will keep us balanced, right? Because we're supposed to be in this world but not of it. The Bible tells us to have nothing to do with the unfruitful works of wickedness, but instead to be exposers of it, right? That's our job. We're supposed to expose the wickedness, but instead the wickedness gets to be there in plain sight, not even trying to hide. What's the point of hiding? We accept it all. Not me, but I'm just saying, like, we accept it all as a group, you know, and then people still claim to be Christians, and it's a hard situation. It kind of reminds me of Jesus talking to his disciples before they went into a place, and he said to not eat the leaven of the Pharisees. Yeah. And the Pharisees, a lot of people, you know, try to call religious people Pharisees when they disagree with them, but that's not truly what a Pharisee is. A Pharisee is a person who is supposed to be a religious person, but they in the background and in their mindset actually are wicked. And they use their religion as a way to try to seem better than they are, but they're actually not. Their heart is rooted in wickedness. Their thoughts are rooted in wickedness. The things that they're okay with doing are wicked, but they sit there and they try to put a robe on. They put their robes on, their rings on, got their whole uniform set up on, and they try to look and present themselves a certain way, but truly in their heart of hearts, it's dark and it's wicked and it's evil, and that's what they're okay with, so long as they have the clout of a religious person. That's truly the heart of a Pharisee.
And that's really the thing that people don't like about Christians, right? Because there is a standard, there is a level of holiness and righteousness that we are to live up to, and it's expected that we live up to it. But when we blatantly don't, the hypocrisy is what really turns people off, right? It's one thing to be striving towards the goal, and that's even what we share. That's even what we say. We're striving to this place of perfection, but not being bound by the law of perfection. You know, so you can strive for this perfection, and when you do fall off, because you will, when you do fall off, you just stop, pause, repent, and keep going, right? But when you try to create this separate law that justifies your righteousness, then we have problems, and that's what the world calls us out on, because they're like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but this is what you're doing, and that's a big problem, right? That's a big problem. So this is why we say, like, man, even when we got this halftime stuff, like you won't catch us watching and listening to this dude on a regular basis. Like, this just because it just goes completely against our morals, right? It goes against our morals, but it goes against our morals are based upon the standards of God, right? And that's how we live. And again, now that doesn't mean that that's always perfect, but there's just some things that's just a hard no. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's something that's just a hard no, and that's one of them. This is a hard no right here. You know, and yeah, that's wild, man. It's wild. And so then you have Turning Point who creates an alternative to this, and I think that's really, really healthy. To be honest with you,
I don't even know why it's an argument.
Yeah, I don't know why people are upset. Oh, we're further divided. No, we're holding a standard. And part of that standard is, hey, this is America. This is our country, and we love our country. If you don't love our country, you need to leave. Yeah. You know, and now that don't mean we're gonna push you out. But if you don't love our country, why are you here talking trash? You know, and it's like the whole freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. You have the right to have freedom of speech. You have the right to believe whatever it is that you want to believe, right? But the moment that crosses over into harming another person, another God created person, then we got problems, right? So you know, hey, the halftime, they got the right to put up whoever they want to put up on their show. That's fine. We got the right to create our own show.
And say, tune into my show.
So tune into my show.
It'll be family friendly and clean.
And then you see people.
Don't be mad when people tune into the clean show, because they got kids running around. They don't want to watch that.
Because here's what it is. Like here's what the marketplace does. This is what the free marketplace does. It creates stuff like this, and then the financiers of the NFL, they're gonna think twice. If we are a consumer based capitalistic society, everything is based on a profit. Everything is based on a profit. This brother did the halftime show because it's based on a profit, but the profits are not adding up when you take a whole section of people who turns out to be a whole lot. Take a whole section of people and they go tune into something else, and watch time goes away. That you speak with your dollar. Yeah, that's how it's always been. That's literally how it has always been.
That's right.
So, freedom of speech.
Because I'm like, I mean, even if you wanted to watch the game, like, and you wanted to be there in person, when the halftime show come on, that's not something that you want to consume. Go to the bathroom. Go get some more popcorn. Go get a taco. I don't know what they serve at the stadiums, but don't watch it. Yeah. You know. Yeah, it's real. I think it's healthy. I think it's healthy for the marketplace. You know, hopefully there's more shows that come out, right? And change the game up, because we have a system that feeds an agenda, and because we've been bottlenecked into this viewership, we don't have the option to
to diversify what we're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we just created diversity.
We just created
diversity and inclusion.
That's a good thing.
Huh? Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Now everybody can tune into the game. Not everybody has to watch the perversion stuff.
How about that? Yeah. We created diversity, equity, and inclusion, huh? Yeah.
All right. So the next topic that we want to bring on, we're just going to scurry on. We're going to spend 20 minutes talking about that. We're talking about Trump's video that went viral that made a lot of people of every race, white, black, upset, you know. I saw the video. I thought it was dumb. It didn't make me feel outraged. I guess because it feels like most people are feeling outraged because they feel like they're supposed to feel that way. But me seeing the video, I just thought it was stupid. Like, that was just stupid. It's childish.
Yeah, I think it was interesting like that. So, I think it was interesting from the standpoint. I didn't know the video came out until my daughter said something. So then we got there. I looked it up. But when I looked it up, I saw the whole thing, and I was like, so I didn't see. Honestly, I didn't see what everybody was talking about. Like from it was like, oh, you know, he used Michelle and Barack as monkeys in this thing in his video. I was like, well, first off, it looked like political satire, honestly. So
but he didn't even make the video, right? It was like
I think it's like an AI. I think it's like an AI video or something.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't even know if it was actually really posted on his channel. I have no idea. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. But it looked like political satire, and like that. I don't know. Have you ever seen any political satire? It's always like that. Mm-hmm. Like if you look up any political satire cartoon, they always are making fun of whoever that they're making fun of.
They're in opposition of them,
right? Mm-hmm. And so they exaggerate stuff to make them animals.
Remember they made whatever. Like a Trump blow up baby? It was like it's dumb.
You remember that? It's political satire. Like, and so I'm like, I saw political satire. I didn't see any. I didn't see racism, and I think and like, because it's two different things. It's like, man, especially when you have seen the consistency of someone's character.
Like, it's not surprising.
It's like this video ain't surprising, and we also seen them just not be racist, especially towards black people. Like when you look at Trump from young to old,
he's been consistent.
He's invested in black folks. He's invested in almost every nationality, right? Like, he has given people chances. He has done it. Like, he has done literally opposite of what everybody else.
He's pardoned black folks, and I'm like, he could have left them in prison. He didn't. He pardoned them. So I think racism is just being thrown around so much. It's like losing its meaning and its value, and I feel like that is actually what's harmful.
Yes.
Because when someone actually is being treated in a racist way to where they're being brutalized, it takes away from their pain because they're actually going through real racism. But the word has lost so much meaning that no one cares and no one's listening. Yeah. And I think that is actually the dangerous thing.
That is very dangerous. It is very dangerous. Like, because, and I've said this a million, and I still say it a million times. The stuff that's actually not racism, that's not racist, they don't talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff that's actually not
racist. That actually is racist.
No, the stuff is not racist. That's what they bolster as racist.
Oh yes. Okay.
The stuff that actually is, they don't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Like that really is, like, because there really is real racism.
Mm-hmm.
But that right there was not.
Yeah.
That right there
it was just dumb.
Was stupid. It wasn't well thought out. It was political satire that was not well thought out. Because why? Because you saw Trump at the end as a lion. Mm-hmm. That's political satire.
Because he's like the king of the jungle.
He's the king of the jungle. Like, come on,
y'all. Basically, the whole government and all the political, it's all a jungle. You know, it's all. He's the king of the jungle, so I can see
it's political satire, like the whole thing.
I mean, making Michelle a silverback though. It's just stupid.
Now that was funny. I ain't gonna lie, that was funny, man. I ain't gonna listen.
I mean, but you think about like, okay, never mind. Let me not say that. Oh my gosh.
I thought that was funny. To be honest with you, I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny they chose the gorilla. You know, like that's anyway. Silverback. Anytime you think about a gorilla, you think about a silverback, and then I'll let you figure out the rest of that. Political satire. I mean, and so, but here's what freedom of speech is. Freedom of speech is this. We should be able to say whatever you feel like saying, whether you agree with it or not. And I now I ain't gonna lie. It took me a while to really get here. Like it took me a while to get here. To truly understand what freedom of speech is, it took me a little bit to really get here. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna make a whole lot of people mad. But someone has the right to be a racist. If they want to say some racist stuff, they can say whatever racist stuff they want to say.
Not that you want to personally deal with the racists, but it's just saying that you can't change a person's heart. Only God can do that.
You cannot police somebody's mind, man. Mm-hmm. Like you cannot police their
that's
mind.
honestly what communist countries do. You say something, you think something wrong against the government, you say that out of your mouth even just a little bit, and you disappear.
Get removed, unalived. Mm-hmm. You get gone. You get gone, right? You get gone.
And that's actually really sad because
they don't be saying nothing serious.
Nothing, you know, like, it's just
if you go, you know, in a similar silo of thought policing, right? You have right now in Australia, Europe, UK, if you make a post that is against the government, they come show up at your house. Mm-hmm. That's
asking
crazy.
You questions about what you posted.
Yeah, and so look. So I'm gonna say this: I'm a conservative, right? I don't think we supposed to be policing people's mind. When folks disagree, when folks had things to say about Charlie Kirk's assassination, I don't think they should have been fired. Yeah. You have the right to say whatever you want.
Man, this is a dangerous game because it can be done to us. Like it goes both ways.
If you're going to uphold the standard of freedom of speech, then we need to uphold the standard of freedom of speech.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't depend on who's in office that, you know, you get fired from your job because you disagree with whatever. That's just, to me, it's insanity.
It's crazy. Like, that's not freedom of speech. You have the right to say and think whatever it is that you want. The problem, whenever you cross the plane of physically doing something to somebody, that their God-given right to be able to pursue to pursue happiness and all the things, right? To live, you didn't give them a God-given right to live. God gave them a right to live, and so you cannot go over there and harm another person because you don't like them. Yeah, like that's the difference. You can stay in your corner. You say what you want. Matter of fact, if you want to have a whole store, that's fine. Have it. But because we're a consumer-based society, we don't have to shop there.
Actually, I prefer you to wave a flag showing who you are so that I know not to go in there.
That's it. That's just it.
I mean, honestly, like when they were waving them flags everywhere, I was just like, okay, thanks for letting me know. Yeah. You just lost a customer, which, I mean, I'm sure you're fine with. I'm fine with not shopping there.
Cool. We're good. Mm-hmm. Because then what does that do, right? Then you say, okay, well, I let's just say we're going down this little silo real quick, but let's just say I like the store, but you know what? They don't want me shopping in there. That's fine. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make my home store.
Period.
And I know. I guess it's February too. I know people like, oh well, this is genuinely this is what the whole argument about the civil rights movement is. This is what everybody's talking about. Like this, that we were actually doing stuff prior to saying we need that government's approval. Mm-hmm. When people were flat out saying whites only, whites only, cool. We went and did our own thing. Mm-hmm. We had our own Wall Street. Mm-hmm. We had everything, and we thrived as a community. Yep, we did.
The thing that hurt us
when we started talking about we need government's approval.
We need handouts. We need free stuff.
I mean, I'm not lying. Like Angel's family, and I thought this was really, really fascinating. Mm-hmm. Angel's family, like down the line, boom, boom, or up the line, boom, started a whole city, and he was black, a town, mm-hmm. And he was black, mm-hmm. A whole city, thriving, government ran city. Well, not government ran, but they went to a place that nobody wanted to live. Mm-hmm. It was the harsh unknown. And they built a straight up town. Yep. By their hands. Yep. Created a product mm-hmm. that sold throughout the nation. Yep. And built a thriving city. Yep. How many cities you see coming to fruition today?
Black owned, black everything. And it's still black run today. That's crazy.
Yeah. Like, come on. Like, you don't need anybody's permission to succeed in America. Mm-hmm. And I think part of where that handicap came to, oh no, we need the government to help us. No, we don't need the government to help us. We don't need the government to help us. It is already given us the framework to go forward and be successful in this country. Mm-hmm. And so I don't have a lot of patience with that. You know what I'm saying? And people are like, oh well, yeah, you just living in a box. No, I'm not, man. Listen, when I started my professional career, we went to Amarillo, Texas. Amarillo. I ain't never lived in the Panhandle, man. When we started out in West Texas, mm-hmm. and we just kept going further and further away from Houston. I for some reason we've been dropped in towns we ain't never knew of, right? Mm-hmm. Like at all, and lived.
Yeah. And we didn't really go into it thinking we should have a bias.
Nope. So. We just said, man, we on the adventure. Mm-hmm. We about to go in here, see what God has for us.
Part of that could have been just us being young.
Could have been, but at the same time, it just wasn't my mindset. Mm-hmm. You know, it really wasn't. Like there was some there because I grew up in the hood and all that stuff, and so that there was some limiting beliefs that I had, that took some rerouting, some paradigm shifting. Cause I mean, and this was God teaching me a lot of stuff in college, but well, I'll come back to that. But when I got dropped off, we got dropped off in Amarillo. I'm out there doing a professional job. I'm out here selling industrial supplies to people, and I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm not from here. I don't know nobody. I'm in the middle of nowhere, mm-hmm. in the desert, man. In the desert, in the middle of nowhere. And I go walk into a shop, walk into a business, and I literally had no problems. I had one time where I actually had a it wasn't a problem. But I was like, I ain't coming back. I said, fine, I ain't coming back. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The dude was obviously racist, mm-hmm. like for real. Mm-hmm. He clearly showed me he was, and I was polite, and I left, and I never came back. Yep. You know why? Because I had 400 more customers to go get business from, and they did fine, and we did fine. You know what I'm saying? And like, this is what I know.
Because you can't control.
Because you can't control people.
You can't be mad at him enough for him not to be racist.
And I'm not going to go over here and try to make him buy stuff from me. Mm-hmm. Bro, you come a dime a dozen. Yeah. I'm going to go find somebody else. And you know what happened? And that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what happened? We live in an apartment. Next door neighbor who does not look like me will see me every day, and then one day he stopped me. He's like, "Hey man, you work for them? Hey, come by my place. I want to get some stuff." And that dude ended up being my number one customer, and we never knew the brother. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm like, come on, man. Like, so it's like I had too many other experiences that says a different story about our country and about who we are. And again, in the middle of nowhere, we can say, "Oh, they blah blah blah."
We didn't have family. We didn't have friends. Yeah.
And I mean, I was in shops that had the rebel flags and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Now, like I said,
I don't really mess with places.
I'm gonna be honest with you, because again, I had some limiting beliefs.
Listen,
man, I was in one of them. I was in one of them, and I came around the corner. I was like, oh man, I don't know if I should be in here. It was all good. Brother was like, yeah, man.
It might be all good, but
I was like,
if you flying that flag, baby, that's okay. You ain't gotta say nothing else.
I was just like, but again, even with that, I even to this day, I'm still learning that it doesn't always mean something.
It's those flags and them dolls with the pitch black face. Angel Mama. Oh, yeah. Is that Angel Mama? I don't know who that is, but whenever I see that, it's usually always in an older white person's house, and I'm just.
It look creepy, man. I ain't gonna lie. It look creepy. It reminded me of this movie out. So
listen, we ain't gonna say racism don't exist. We know it exists.
Yeah.
But we just know how to handle it.
But this but I am adding this too though. Like sometimes these things, as I'm learning, is just cultural. Like for real.
Why I ain't never seen a black person with them.
No. Nah, listen, that's what I'm saying.
Why you need a doll?
That's
like
weird.
That?
Like, I'm not. That's weird. But you know what? That's me looking from this side over. Like I really don't know. Mm-hmm. They might have a legit reason.
It makes me a little uncomfy.
It does make you uncomfortable. Like it really does. Like you know what I'm saying. Like it really does. Mm-hmm. But I still need to listen to their side of the story to find out why in the world you even got these dolls. And it could be something else.
It could be.
Could be.
They might mess around and say something. They'll be like, it reminds me of the person who used to clean.
I'm like, we go get out.
Like I gotta go.
But I'm saying though, but I learned to have a little bit more grace, because like I said, that there was guys I knew that I used to shake hands with all the time who had the rebel tattoos tatted on them, and I was just like.
One guy did say he has the tattoos, but he didn't want them on him anymore because he's changed. Yeah, something like that.
It's all kinds of stuff. But no, this was a customer that I knew, and when I was in Houston.
Oh, okay.
Brother had on the forearm, and I was like, "You good, bro?" But he was cool. Again, one of my top customers, and I was just like, and so it was just again, I just had several experiences where I began to learn that for some of these folks. It is just a cultural thing. It was the North trying to impede on their freedoms, and they was like, no, we ain't doing this, right? And so you had that, and then you have the other ones that were straight up racist.
Yeah, but so the guy that told us about that, he was a part of a racist gang, so he literally was with the racism, but he said he changed. So
yeah. So I mean, man, what my summary is that you don't know who a person is until you reach out, shake their hand, and have a conversation with them.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, we didn't even bring it up. He brought it up to us because I guess he thought we noticed it, which I hadn't noticed it until he started saying something, because it maybe made him feel like bad that I don't know. Yeah,
like I said, you don't know a person until you reach out and say something, mm-hmm. like until you start having that conversation, and that's what I've always been about. Like I said, like I wouldn't know if someone was. Because I'm not going to assume they are. I'm going to have a conversation with them to find out if they are. If they don't want to have a conversation with me, well, probably got an idea. But they may not, because maybe they're like normal, like everybody else. They're busy. They're running around. They're doing their own thing. They ain't thinking about having a conversation. Just could be any number of normal stuff. My first thought is that they are not. My first thought is not to assume racism. That's just me. But that's how I've learned, because I've worked with so many people, and I've been in so many different situations and places where everyone's like, hey, and I'm like, well, I mean, I gotta go do my job. I gotta go talk to people, man. It's part of my job.
Can't be scared to go everywhere.
Can't be scared. Yeah, I can't be scared to go walk into a business in the middle of nowhere, because I gotta sell stuff, Yeah. And so I just learned to have conversations with everybody, and then like I said, I began to find out, man, most people, legitimately, are just out there trying to provide a life for their family. And now, like I said, and then when it actually comes to real racist stuff, we don't actually talk about that. Like, the stuff that like when you look at when a legit president says,
if you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
You ain't black if you don't vote for me. Well, that's kind of I don't know.
You kind of compare our
that
kids
sounds really
to cockroaches. kind of
really racist.
Kind of racist.
You know what I'm saying?
Personally, I think that's kind of racist.
Right. And then you also got to put this. Then also put the responsibility back onto us too, right? If you don't want someone to be racist, well, you don't need to be. You don't need to be racist either.
Yeah.
You don't need to be grouping in all white people are like this, or all Hispanics like this, or all like. Now, what are you doing?
I don't want to move to a certain area because one event made the news.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man. We in real estate, man. I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot, and what I do appreciate about real estate, what I see, what they at least if they try to do from the legality standpoint of trying to deconstruct how this thing works to give everybody opportunity like so you can't be like, well, you can't move over here because you look like this. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't steer in that direction, right? Like that's called steering. So you can't steer in that direction. So you have to just be mutual. Like so you stick to the facts. What's the facts there? And I think I actually think that's actually really, really healthy. Stick to the facts of the place. Do you like this house? Is it what you're looking for? A 3-bedroom, 2-bath? Is it on the side of town that you prefer? Do you prefer the schools? You prefer the shopping? Whatever it is. Is it somewhere that has a location that you prefer for things?
For your lifestyle.
For your lifestyle, yeah. For your lifestyle. And you keep with the facts. And I'm like that's actually pretty healthy. And so what I always share with people is just go spend time in the area and see if you feel comfortable there.
And it could be healthy for you too, because just like Roland was saying, when he would go to certain customers, he learned through those experiences that not everybody is against him. Not everybody is even thinking about his skin color, right? Yeah. But it took those experiences for him to even see that. So if you go, let's go to the grocery store in this side of the town. Let's go to grab a burger. Let's go, go to the playground and see who's bringing their kids, who's playing, and you realize like no one cares. Literally, no one's thinking about you.
No one cares. Yeah.
And you just literally vibed in this neighborhood for an entire day, and literally nobody's thinking about how black you are or anything like that.
Yeah.
It can help you change your paradigm a little.
It really can. It really can. I mean, it really can. Like I mean, even like yeah, you just go to an area and you spend time in there and see what's up. And I don't know. I mean, it helps. And like I said, the more conversations you have with people, me personally, again, like I said, I've been all over Texas except for Northeast Texas, except for like Dallas. I ain't been in Dallas. I've been Southeast. I ain't been East yet. Oh no.
Did it stop? Oh.
Oh man, they hemisphere. I've been everywhere except for Northeast or East. I'm in Southeast. I ain't been East. And I've had conversations with literally thousands of people in Bareback, Texas, all over the place, and I literally can account on one hand the amount of racist interactions I've had. And so you take that for what you want. And I remember even on this channel, even on our current channel, on Thomas Family Life, Alden and Clay Thomas Family Life, by Thomas Family Life. I remember we made a video just about our travels and how was it being black and RVing and traveling the country. We're a black family. We're all over the place, and I'm like, man, it was fine, literally fine. Like we didn't have any issues. We had one where we had one when we was in Utah, where this lady kept following Angel and them around the Washington area or something weird. We're like, dude, what are you doing? And so that was probably along the lines of racism, but I don't know. But probably, okay. I mean, you following us for a reason. Outside of that, literally, we had zero issues. Zero issues. out there living. Boondocking in the middle of nowhere. Like we had no issues, you know. And now that didn't mean that we didn't go in a little nervous. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think that's true, because there was just a lot of paradigms that we had to overcome, going out there and experiencing other stuff like that. Now that's when we begin to realize, man, I know what we've been sold at home, that white folks this and that, like what we've been sold at home was just not true in our experience.
I think a lot of that has to do with the media.
It does.
Because of what people are consuming from a passive standpoint and not from a I've experienced this standpoint. I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because for us, we watched a lot of full-time travelers before we went traveling. Mm-hmm. And we would see them, like what we're seeing on the news is, Mexico running out of gas, and there's lines wrapped around the blocks, for miles and miles and miles. People can't get gas. Then we saw these travelers go into Mexico. They're in the same area that is on the news, and there's nobody at the gas station. So they're selling us a narrative, and we're buying it because we're watching video footage. We trust them. They're professionals, and they're telling us this, and that we got to take their word for it, right? Yeah. But then when you go and you're experiencing, you're in this area, and like your experience is completely different than what they're claiming it what's going on, then you start to see some dishonesty here. Mm-hmm. There's some shifting and swaying of my emotions that are being controlled by someone else based off the information that they're giving me, based off the context that they give me, right? So you can't even really form a real opinion, but yet you're so emotional because of the information that you were given. Now, I remember having conversations with people, and it's just like, say in elementary school or whatever, like you had a spat with someone, and the teacher would say, there's two sides to every story. So they talk to the other student as well, make sure the story coincides, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the truth. It's like there's what we're being told, and then there's actually what happened. Mm-hmm. There's a picture we're being shown, but there's a broader picture that isn't being shown, right? You can zoom in on something, or you can isolate a tiny little window, but you're not showing the full picture, you see? And so I think that also plays a big part in our thought processes, our paradigms, and what we're afraid of. So you're afraid to go to certain small towns because it was on the TV that they did a crime against, a person of color, and they don't want us there. But really, that's one bad group did something crazy. They got into an altercation, whatever the case may be, and did something crazy, and now they're in jail, and the rest of the town suffering from that reputation because of what one person did. Yeah,
it's real. It's like, like we're in a small town now, and I can tell you, they have a lot more problems in this small town than they do with us being black living here. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like when you get out there, man. There's other stuff going on. The world is not revolving around you and your skin. Like, for real. You know what I'm saying? They have there's other issues going on, Mm-hmm. And I just always say, man, if you just come in and you just be a productive citizen in society, you're probably gonna be okay. There ain't no guarantees, because you can't police everybody's mind. You can't force someone to be not racist. If they are, they are. And
then maybe, are you? Are the people that you surround yourself, are they racist against another group of people? That's something to think about internally. What's my heart? What's my heart stance? Am I projecting my true feelings towards another onto them?
Yes.
That's an honest question and an honest evaluation that should be had.
Yeah, and because that and you find that true with all other categories, right? Like, you know, if you're assuming that everybody is racist, it's probably because you got some up in there, right? Because that's racist in its own, right? That's prejudice in its own. Like if or you are at the end of the day, we're all going to have some level of prejudice. I remember being in some of these corporate trainings and they talk about how to minimize prejudices. It's like, well, we all going to be prejudiced to some extent about something, right? You're gonna look at somebody, and you're gonna make a judgment before you ever actually talk to them. If you see somebody dressed really nice, right, you're gonna think that they're automatically successful. They could be the brokest person in there.
You know what picture I got? That movie, God's Not Dead. I forget which one, but there was a girl who was a part of the jury. It was the one with the teacher who a student had asked her about Christianity or whatever. She answered the student, and she was on trial. And there was a girl that was a part of the jury that they let be on part of the jury because they thought she wasn't a Christian because she dressed like goth. And she actually was a Christian on the jury, and they were trying to what they were trying to do was taint the jury towards anti-Christian, like people that don't really rock with Jesus like that, you know. And they chose the goth girl because she was gothic, but truly she was a believer.
Yeah, and it's literally. I mean, Jesus said the same thing. He's like men judge by the outer garments, but the Lord judges the heart. And so it's a part of our sinful nature to prejudge someone, whether good or bad, you know. And so you have to put another layer in there. Well, I need to have a conversation with them. Something to be able to get past that point, to see there's a bridge to be built here, for whatever, you know. And it's even what I'm saying. Like, yes, I don't agree with the LGBT, all them. I don't agree with that stuff, but that doesn't mean I can't have a conversation.
That doesn't take away from their humanity.
Don't take away from humanity. Doesn't mean I have to support what they're doing.
Yep.
Because I have a right not to. Yeah. And we keep going. Like homeboy, I for sure disagree with probably everything he's doing. But that don't mean I have to support it.
Yep.
So I'm not going to support it. And like that's the point of freedom of speech, and that's the point of, again, freedom of press and freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of all. You know, you can do this stuff. You're free to do what you want, but you can't do what you want to somebody else.
Yeah.
So, I think, and so this is slightly different, but we've been studying a book. And on our Sunday Bible study, Sunday small group, it's by Francis Schaeffer. I never heard of this guy. True Spirituality, and what it's really getting at is how do we live in a world? How do we live in this world as Christians? How do we truly tap into the spiritual richness of our belief of being a Christian, right? And man, it's been a really good conversation. Really good conversation. So I mean, everything from salvation to just understanding the true what sin is. And I know, like, this is why Christians really this is why they really struggle, because they just don't understand the gravity, truly understand the gravity of what Jesus did and really why he did it. Like, what is sin? Like, what is sin? You know?
Yeah. And
really sitting on that for a little bit to really contextualize what is it, because it was that bad that God had to fix it.
Yeah. I mean, and you think about, there's so many paradigms to this conversation, but it makes me think about Jesus saying that in those days it'd be like the days of Noah. And recently, I'm going back to the Bad Bunny point, but it reels it all in. It made me think about it because a lot of Christians were saying, oh, it wasn't that bad, or, you know, oh, it's just fun, lighten up, like it's just a halftime show, like it's not that big of a deal. And it just made me think about Noah being the only man on the planet untainted. So much so to God gave him a plan to protect him and his family. Noah was doing what many of us are doing, the Christians are doing to other Christians. I'm talking Christian to Christian now. Not Christian to people in the world, not Christians to everybody, Christian to Christian. If you believe Jesus Christ died on the cross for your sins, if you believe the gospel, that's what I'm talking to right now, not anybody else. Noah went around telling people to repent and that the Lord was going to flood the earth if they didn't. And they all said, he's insane. It's not that big of a deal. It's just fun. Calm down. Lighten up. And everybody made fun of Noah until the rain came. And it's like that. We're all trying to sound the alarm. Not to participate in sin. Not to participate in wickedness. And the things of this world are growing increasingly wicked. And like Roland was saying earlier, we've grown so used to it that we don't think it's that big of a deal, because it's like, it's not that bad. It could be worse. We've seen worse. It's like, no.
We've never seen nobody get struck down.
Yeah. And it's just like, but we're supposed to have nothing to do with the works of wickedness, but instead expose it. We're supposed to be set apart, holy as he is holy. But we're not doing that. We're mixing and mingling with the world, and then we're saying it's not that bad, or it's just fun, or lighten up. You know, I saw an influencer recently kind of go off on other Christians because they were saying something in a loving, correcting way of just some behavior or things that just kind of seemed a little off, you know. And she said, y'all's problem is that all y'all's entire world is at church. You go to church on Sunday, you go to church on Monday night, you go to church on Wednesday night, you go to, all y'all ever do every time you socialize is at church. And I'm thinking, duh, where else are we going to fellowship? We got to fellowship with the world in order to have any kind of other fellowship? No, we want to be together. We're supposed to break bread together. We're supposed to celebrate together. We're supposed to pray together. We're supposed to worship together. And then when we go out, we're on a mission. That's how it's supposed to be. When we go out, we're doing the Father's work. We're kingdom business at this point. When we go out into the marketplace, we're representatives of Christ for the world. But we get to come in together and relax a little bit. We get to come in together and take all of that and just lay at the feet of our Father together. So, duh. But she's saying that because she was at a party, dancing, and whatever the case may be. It's your life. You live in it the way you want to. But that's no way to condemn Christians for living set apart lives. Yeah. Because that's the way we're supposed to do things.
Yeah, I mean, we go out, we engage in the marketplace. You share what God has done to you. Help pull somebody else out of the darkness, right? Like that. That's what we do. So that's what we call to do. But if we want to fellowship with one another 3, 4, 5, 6 days a week, there's nothing wrong with that. Like it's really nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, we went to a church that had movie nights all the time, so families can get together and fellowship with each other. And I mean, that's what we're supposed to do.
That's the point.
We're supposed to commune together.
That's the point.
Yeah.
They will know that we're of Him because of the love we show to one another.
And if you think about it, even in the Bible, like there was some weight to being kicked out of the synagogue, right? You were ousted from your community. You were, the synagogue is where you did everything. It's how you came together. It's how you broke bread together. That was where your entertainment was. That was where your gathering was. So you got kicked out. That was a big deal. Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. Like, it's a big deal for us not to have that together. Yeah. That's what we're supposed to be. Not forsaking the assembling of us. Not assembling with them and what they do. But we shouldn't even be surprised when they do the things that they do because they don't know Christ. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't be mixing and mingling doing the things that they're doing and we supposedly do know Christ. Mm-hmm. But that's where we are today. That's where we are today. And I was getting back to my point of Noah being on his own. And we're supposed to, I think I did say that, never mind. We are supposed to be sounding an alarm for the soon return of our Messiah. Anyways.
Yeah. You know, and I think one part of the one part of the thing about fellowship is that it really, especially, there's something special about fellowshipping with fellow believers, right? Especially when you're going through challenging times, right? Like this is where you see this whole thing really kind of like comes together. Man, you know, they're there to, you know, they're there to lift you up, and we're all lift each other and celebrate with each other. But also when the times get challenging, we're able to lean on one another, right? Mm-hmm. Because what the enemy will love to do is to keep you isolated, and in the isolation they get to go in on you, right? And because we have the Spirit of God, because we have the Spirit of God, it operates a little bit different than how it did when Job was going through some stuff. He's going through stuff. The Spirit of God didn't dwell with everybody, right? So they just, you know, brothers, you know, friends giving bad advice, right? And even today, friends still can get bad advice. But
even if they're believers,
man, still get bad advice, you know. But
you have the Holy Spirit, so that helps.
Yeah, we have the Holy Spirit. They have the Holy Spirit. This support that we have as a body of Christ is a little different from how it was in the Old Testament. And so like one thing that we've seen, especially when people are going through hard times, like how do you go through that how do you go through challenging times as a believer and stay rooted in Him, mm-hmm. right? And we're learning. We're walking through stuff. You know, we're walking through stuff now, but we're learning. And one of those is you can get on the internet, you can get on social media. Like social media is a trip. It's exactly what you consume, which is kind of actually really, really spiritual in many ways. You can check your spirit, check your feed. You know, but what I've seen people do is really get on there and just and blast out things, lash out on people, do all kind of stuff, on the internet for public display during challenging times, and really, the best thing you could do, and I know it sounds cliche, but the best thing you could do is continue to spend more time with the Lord. Mm-hmm. Get into that secret place, whatever that is, whether it's in a closet, on your drive, or you getting some journaling in, something, but etching in more time during the challenging times is a better way to go through it. Mm-hmm. Even though when it sounds really, really quiet. Like, stay in it.
Yeah. Anything you want to add on that? I mean, getting into the secret place. So, when you're going through a challenging time, which I'm like, how did we get here? But when you're going through a challenging time, the last thing you want to do is go on your counselor Facebook, because there's a lot of people do. Mm-hmm. They're going through a divorce. They're breaking up a friendship. Mm-hmm. They're mad at their, you know, whoever, boyfriend, girlfriend. They blast things on Facebook. They tell their business. And that's just not the place for that. The place is with trusted fellow brethren or sisters in Christ, right? And it's in the secret place with the Father. And if the Lord is refining something off of you, you're in that secret place. You are praying and fasting. Jesus said that some only go out through prayer and fasting. So when you're dealing with hardship and really hard things, the secret place and being close to the Father is the only place to be. Not blasting it on Facebook, not telling everybody your business. You tell a few trusted people. Maybe that's your pastor. Maybe that's a counselor at your church. Maybe that's a really close friend who you know is not going to go, don't tell nobody, but so-and-so, da-da-da, you know? But it's that, and you keep it close and you keep it tight, and you allow the Lord to refine those things off of you, or that in you, or call you up and out, or whatever the case may be. You allow the Lord that time with you to do those things. And then it's evident on the outside. You don't want to go to counselor Facebook or counselor Instagram or counselor TikTok and blast all your business out. That puts shame on not only you, but another person, right? Whereas when you go to the Father, there is no shame. There's loving correction, right? Because the enemy is the one who actually uses shame. He is the accuser of the brethren. He is the one who condemns, right? There is no condemnation in Christ. There's only surrender and acceptance, and accepting whatever it is that God wants to deal with. So, I don't know if I went off topic or not.
No. Okay. No. I just, I think as one thing about living a life that's rooted in Christ. I mean, again, there's so many things between social media, but again, you're living life, right? And it would just, his things that we've just seen over the years, right? Whether people were getting divorced or again going through challenging times. Man, you need a good, trusted, tight knit group, whether it be a small group, again, like I said, a pastor, and just a few tight people who will stay praying with you, who would keep encouraging you, who would keep telling you to keep your eyes on Jesus, right? You need that group.
And even someone who will rebuke you when you're wrong. Yeah. The Bible tells us that, and I think this is in Proverbs 27:5. Open rebuke is better than love carefully concealed. So you don't want somebody who always in your face loving you, love, and never actually love you by saying you're wrong. Yeah. You need to repent. You need to take this to the cross. And I think that's another thing that goes back into what we were talking about with the Bad Bunny thing and the Christians. Is like whenever someone says, you shouldn't be watching this, you're a Christian. And they go, well, you're just judging. And da. It's like, that is actual love. Mm-hmm. Someone telling you to guard the gates, guard your heart, guard your mind, guard your ears. Everything not for us. Everything not for us to engage in. Even if the world calls it fun. Everything not for us to engage in. Maybe that's something you need to take to the cross so that the Lord can purify that in you. Maybe that's something you need to fast about so the Lord can give you clarity, so he can transform your heart, right? And I think that's so important to keep close in mind. Is that every time someone says, hey, don't do this, it's not time to jump down their throat and call them religious. Or judgmental, or whatever the case may be. It might be a time to look internal and say, maybe you're right about that. And it's important to have friends like that in your life who will do that. If all your friends are yes men and patting you on the back and telling you you're great and that's great if you are great, but not all of us are always great.
Yeah. For real. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, how you handle hard times truly shows even more so the fruit of the Spirit. And it doesn't mean you have to go through it just completely right. But every time you go through, you just want to go through a little bit more different, a little bit more like Christ, right? And continue to keep your eyes on him as you're walking through that thing, right? And so we just want to encourage you. Like, we just want to encourage you. Like, so it's fresh on our mind that we're walking through it. So it's fresh on our mind. There's new things that we're learning, skill sets that we're building, and things that we're trusting him with, right? And because we're in the process, we haven't seen it fully over. right? But you know, we definitely get into a place where we can feel like we're almost done with this thing. Mm-hmm. Just keep focused, just keep going. We're almost there, right? And and again, a lot of it's just been spending more time in the Word, having good counsel, having good group of small group folks around, and keeping eyes on Him, right? And so I just want to encourage you. Like I said, everything about living out for Christ is not always glamorous, right? But it's always about reflecting Him in all aspects of our life. Yeah. And so we just want to encourage you. We'll encourage you that, man, you got Facebook, you got internet conversations happening about the halftime show. We got Trump videos. We got all kind of stuff that can get you diverted and get you up in arms over all kind of stuff.
And it truly doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Staying rooted in the Word, staying close to the Father so you can hear His voice, practicing hearing His voice, and obeying Him when He tells you to do something. Many Christians don't even know how to hear God's voice, and I think that's another onion to peel back later. Mm-hmm. But it's important for the believer. You need to know how to hear His voice and obey the first time. Because the Bible tells us obedience is better than sacrifice. But if you're ignoring His voice, being disobedient, and doing what you want to do and saying you have a relationship, but you really, truly don't, or it's so, that's something to think about. Mm-hmm. Don't necessarily always push away that open rebuke that is done in love. Because you find yourself way off somewhere farther than you wanted to go. That's what sin will do. Sin will take you farther than you ever intended to go. And you don't even see it until you're just standing in muck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, man, hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Hey, make sure you like and share it. Share this with a friend. Share it with a coworker. Share it if you're on Spotify. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you share it to your friends. Share it to all the places. Like, subscribe. Join us on this journey as we continue to just unpack life and staying rooted in Christ in everything that we do. So we love you. We'll see you on next.